All right then, it's the Luke and Pete Show. We're doing this again. You will not be surprised to hear. Might as well. What else have you got on today, for crying out, Lukey Moore?
What else have we got on today? I'm supposed to go to Aldi later, so I'll get that done.
What, you're going to be buying in Aldi? Are you going to be going and enjoying the middle aisle, buying yourself a wetsuit?
Yeah, I mean, to be fair though, if I did see a competitively priced wetsuit, it would be a stronger man than I that could resist such a purchase.
Well, I mean, people make the point that, what, you're going to buy a wetsuit? Well, I live on the coast, so you do occasionally see a bodyboard or some beach shoes at the Aldi, and you're like, you know what? I live next to the coast, so that's not a strange thing for me to buy, I would say.
No.
To protect myself from the mudflats.
The serious answer, I mean, be careful on those mudflats, though. Seriously.
Why?
I mean,
Why? You get exposed and caught out.
Let me just get the Aldi thing out of the way and I'll tell you. The simple answer is they do the best nappies.
They do the best. They're the cheapest, the best nappies. And is your child, are they a pant or sort of nappy style pant?
Pant.
So you put the pull-up sort of thing, yeah. How do you remove? Do you tear
rip.
Or do you pull down?
Rip.
Yeah, I rip. Yeah, it's quite
that's what they're designed to be ripped, mate. It's like a swim nappy. Swim nappies are the same.
Yeah, swim nappies aren't really worth the. They just stop poo from escaping into the pool, as discussed on a previous Luke and Pete show. They don't really sort of do anything more. They don't keep the.
No, but that is your priority at that moment.
That is your priority at that moment.
Yeah. I mean,
as discussed, I'm fine. I'm absolutely fine with poo in the pool.
And also, my son wouldn't even be on nodding terms with the potty yet.
Right? Yeah. What? Too disinterested, chaotic, just fancying like a bit of run around.
Do you want to try? Do you want to sit on the potty? No. That's it.
Yeah, we should really be getting involved. But to be quite frank, this whole not sleeping thing is what we're focusing on right now. So
changing the seasons has sent every child I've ever heard of under 3 mad, quite mad, like general meltshit mad. Anyway, so I'll do that. I'll just got other bits I want to get. But speaking of the mudflats, though, Peter, when I was growing up. There was a place. There are quite a few people who listen to this show who are from where I'm from, and they kind of shout out to me sometimes when I go down. Like I said to you, the Petanque guy.
Yes,
Dave, the Petanque guy,
the best Petanque man in the world.
So they'll know where I mean when I say this. I mean, you don't need to know where it is, but they'll know where I mean. There's a place called Monk's Walk in Gosport.
Okay. Yeah,
and I think it's so named because it was the walk that the monks took from maybe the monastery to their quarters or something, and it's now like a forest, overgrown forest place. In fact, do you remember I told you about Don Starler's gym that we used to break into and do the assault course?
Yes,
it's there. It's basically there, right? And it's a creek basically. Would you call it a creek when you grew up in Hartlepool?
What do you mean, like
like an inlet with like a little tiny river? And it's a bit muddy, and
we call that a beck. Dirty old beck.
That's great. I love the old regional variations because I can remember I was working with my boss when I worked at Sky Sports, and we became quite good friends, and we were out for a beer in town. And he said to me once, "All right, we'll go to this next pub now. We'll just cut through that Ginnell."
Yes,
and I'd never heard the word Ginnell before. And he's from like Blackpool or something.
That comes up in Alan Partridge. Couldn't catch a pig in a Ginnell.
Yeah. In the most recent series.
Yes.
Yeah. So I noticed that as well. Anyway, I love the variation. It's a creek, but we used to go down there all the time, and in the summer, and when the tide goes out, it's mud flats. But the first time I went down there properly on my own, I don't know, I was about 14 or something. Yeah. And we were doing all the usual kind of Enid Blyton type stuff.
Throwing car batteries into the sea. Yeah. All that stuff. Yeah.
One of us threw a dog on a fire. It scared a donkey, so it fell into a river. No, it was tree climbing and the like.
Oh, lovely.
And we used to play manhunt, which is a brilliant game as well. I don't know if you ever played that growing up.
No, what is it? Kind of like stuck in? Is it like stuck in the mudflats, or is it just kind of?
So manhunt would be you'd have a small team of say 2 people.
Yeah,
they would stand in a spot, ostensibly facing the other way or with their eyes closed or whatever. for like 10 minutes. So you get your watch out, whatever.
Right.
Then the other bunch of you, like 5 or 6 of you, would just leg it.
Right.
Agreed perimeter.
Yeah.
And
10 minutes.
Because you had to go. It was a proper big scale thing. Sometimes we used to play it in our town across like 15 streets and back alleys and stuff.
Would you have to stay where you were?
The only rule was you weren't allowed to go into houses. No, the point being it's a manhunt, right? It's not hide and seek. So if they find you, you can run. They've got to get you.
It's like a large scale. My favourite game was Block 123. Did you ever play that?
No.
It was like a similar sort of thing. It's like Tig, but there was a base you had to get back to. So basically, you'd hide in a place. One person would be tasked in finding everybody. Once they found someone, it was a race against time to get back to the block. Whoever gets back to the block is out. So
we used to call that kick the can.
Kick the can. What was there a can you had to kick when you got back to the base?
Well, we'd use a football, but I guess in the past it was a can.
I see.
But it's a variation, I suppose. But manhunt, I always used to get caught because I was such a slow runner. I could never get away. But we played manhunt in Monk's Walk as well, and you could climb trees and you could hide in different old army, World War II bunkers and stuff. And
I mean, to be fair, the kind of the bits and bobs peppered around the course down there, probably quite useful. In hiding.
They're everywhere. They're everywhere down there. Anyway, so there's mudflats down there when the tide was out, and when I was about 14, the first time I went down there with a few of my mates. The Bunce twins.
The Bunce boys.
One's passed away now, sadly. But actually, no, he hasn't. His brother passed away. I can't remember. Anyway, doesn't matter.
You didn't specify which one you were talking about, so it doesn't matter.
No, but they had another brother.
Right. Okay. A third Bunce. Right. Okay. I
Correct.
see. Right.
The mudflats, it's hard to explain, but they look like solid mud from the top.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
So it looks like the tide's gone out, the mud is solid, and you can walk across. And we wanted to walk out to this little mini shipwreck, which I believe is still there. A bit rusted and stuff. And started to kind of leg it over there and realised actually it's not solid, it's really, really sticky mud.
Yeah.
And it was fucking hard to get out. And a couple of our mates who didn't run were chucking like these concrete slabs into the mud to help us try and get out.
Right.
And we eventually got out. Our clothes were totally ruined. But it's one of those things you look back on and go, that's probably really fucking dangerous.
That'd probably
actually.
be quite dangerous, yeah.
Yeah. And I remember walking home in my muddy, stinking clothes. It was a weekend. And thinking, right, if my dad's in, it's going to be fine. He won't care. He'll just, he'll basically tell me, he'll basically either get the garden hose out, hose me down, tell me to get my trousers off outside in the garden.
Right. Yeah.
If my mum comes home, I'm in big trouble, right?
Right, because your clothes are muddy.
Yeah, she's also just a bad cop. It got home and it was my dad, and my dad's just reading the paper, and he was looked over and he was like, all right, what you been doing? I told him, and he was like, all right, probably don't do that again. I was like, yeah, all right, I won't. I said, Dad, can you help me hose off my trousers? He's like, no, do it yourself. So I did it myself.
Hose off your own trousers, son.
That's what I thought about when I thought about mud flats.
Yeah, I mean, I think one of those things is the old sort of saw that kids are obsessed with quicksand, and we're constantly told about how dangerous quicksand is. But we imagine it's all in a desert. Imagine it's kind of next to a drinking hole. This was basically
the same thing, but just mud, though, right?
Of course it is. I mean, well, that's quicksand, isn't it? I mean, do we really living on the coast and the house prices would dictate that there's nothing that differentiate between sand and mud, but it's really dangerous stuff. Did you?
You must have done some of that up in Hartlepool, surely.
No, I didn't spend that much time.
Too scared
in the water. Too scared. No, didn't really. The only time I sort of visited the seaside regularly was when I had a summer sort of vacation.
Were you saying the word vacation up in Hartlepool, were you?
No, because it wasn't really a holiday either. It was
it's a ginnel.
A ginnel. I don't think we used ginnel. It was always alleyway, so I don't think we really used ginnel.
We did. We used alley as well. Yeah.
The one summer I spent with some God-fearing / loving folks. Joel Hawkswell, who used to live up the road, he had an Atari ST. It was very impressive. And he and his family were very, very, very into the old God stuff. And I think he ended up working for the God Channel, which is a channel that I never really watched.
Working for what, sorry?
The God Channel on Sky. I don't think
it sounds like a made-up
anymore.
channel. Can't they call it something better than that?
I mean, it seems a bit rude to be kind of using God as like a licensed name. Do you know what I mean? Like you say in the Spider-Man channel, it's like you can't take that's taking the Lord's name in vain, isn't it? Like you can't advertise God. Out there. Well, yeah, exactly. You need to talk to your.
Well, so long ago, it's probably out of copyright now.
Exactly, good point. Actually, good point. I sort of spent an entire summer going to some kind of sort of God camp, some sort of like Jesus camp with the lad down the road.
That's a good Catholic boy.
Well, no, I think it was. Was it? It was pre-Catholic school. So the old non-Catholics nearly got me, but I dodged out the way. What did you have to end
up doing when you were there?
Well, I just remember the vibe? We sort of went.
Hymns.
We saw some sort of teenagery looking kind of scraggly boys. Sort of took us on like little trips to the fair and to. I remember going on a death slide, and I remember going to the beach quite a lot. But it would all sort of start, middle, and end with a trip to the church to listen to a man play the guitar, singing a song about Jesus being a rock and he roars our blues away.
They always try to hide it, don't they?
Yeah, exactly. At least with Catholicism, it's 4 hours of church. It's 4 hours of boring old church. People swinging fucking metal things around with smoke coming out of it, and people eating the blood and body of Christ and Latin.
I've got a friend he's got a decent academic qualification. I can't remember which in philosophy.
Right.
And he came from a Christian background, and he's our age, and he's very very intelligent man. He's militant on the Protestantism of the Christian faith. He's like, I don't believe in God. I'm probably a kind of agnostic / atheist type thing, but I have some pretty good, well established ideas about what being a Christian should be. And the moment I see a bloke trying to be trendy with a guitar, I'm out of there. I want to go into a windy, freezing cold church, sit on a rock hard pew, and be told that I need to be doing better.
I like that.
That's what it should be. That's what it should be. It should be about writing songs that are vaguely Christian, but are kind of being Trojan horsed into the morning, and people making you feel great and giving you a Mars bar. I don't want to. Have you thought about reading this book?
I don't want to hear. I don't want to hear a vicar try and shoehorn the term One Direction into a sermon.
No.
Do you know what I mean? The one true direction is to heaven. Is it?
I have.
Is it? Is it?
I definitely have a sympathy for the ragged type that found God after doing some pretty naughty shit.
Most professional wrestlers, most professional rock stars, most TV guys. Yeah,
not the Russell Brand kind of way.
I mean that seems too base and too bare and obvious. I think, and I think we all know what's going on there. I want to see the people who've done it all, who've not been accused of several sexual crimes. And then finds God that it should be the place you go because you fucked everything, not the place in a broad sense, not the place you go to hide from accusations of fuckery, if you know what I mean. So
totally. I think also I do have a good amount of respect and I suppose for the older gentleman who stands out in the freezing cold all day handing out leaflets because he genuinely passionately believes in Jesus as a saviour. Right? Not my cup of tea. I'm not going to probably not going to partake. I have a policy when it comes to taking leaflets. If someone looks like they're on minimum wage doing this as a Saturday job and they just need to get rid of the leaflets, I'll take one.
Always.
But other than that, I won't. And I think there's a certain amount of. I also found that, like, weirdly for some reason, I was discussing this with a few friends the other day. Like, Christian music is universally absolutely abysmal, right? But music made by people who happen to be Christian, like, isn't necessarily. I suppose when you genreify it as, say, Christian rock or Christian rap, it makes it terrible. Yeah, but,
because in the same way that that country music, is as a. If you are aiming for a country music chart position or radio station or Christian music radio station, it it taints your music, doesn't it? You can't really make beautiful music like that when you're wearing a football shirt. Effectively,
it just turns me off.
Sports shirt. There was a guy yesterday. There was a guy yesterday in Leigh-on-Sea Town Square, and I shall have to visit the website because I didn't have time. I was walking Sammy the dog, and he was in the middle of Leigh-on-Sea, and he had like a kind of he had a little sort of speaker system and microphone. I didn't actually hear him shout or speak, but rather confusingly, he's got on his he sort of hung up like a load of flags, a British flag, an American flag, a Swedish flag, German, right. Spanish, kind of the British and American flags are bigger. And
you were at the UN.
Yes, at the UN. And he basically just set up a little kind of stand with a load of different sort of leaflets on. One that says,
I see that.
"No graffiti here, Sarah." And then in little letters, only our finest, tomdarwood.com. Only beauty in revive-all, tomdarwood.com. Afternoon of Remembrance Day. Let's create a new beginning in song and verse. And it sounds like he's booked out Southend Town Centre at 2 p.m. All are welcome. This will inspire MAGA, Make America Great Again.
Wow.
www.tomdarwood.com. Now, I've not visited this website. I will do in the intervening shows, and I'll find out precisely what level and flavour of lunacy this guy's got. But he was in the town centre. It was just confusing that the no graffiti here, Sarah. All are welcome. Make America Great Again. TomDarwood.com. I'm sure he's wonderfully quite mad. But
I think he might be. I think he might be a vulnerable man.
Do you reckon?
Yeah.
Have you looked at the website?
I think he might have an illness.
Yeah, but have you put it into the? I couldn't figure out it was Christian. I couldn't figure out whether it was Make America Great Again.
I into my browser and it said it's not a safe connection.
Well, that doesn't. It doesn't save you from ill people. That's just ill websites, isn't it?
That's what I'm saying. But you can't get it. You can't. The website won't let me go on the website. You have to use one of your hooky browsers to let it get.
I'm actually on it now. Yeah, it's quite it's basically him talking about what he can do for the Church of England. Were I to become the next Archbishop of Canterbury,
that's already happened.
I think he's talking about Charlie Kirk. He's talking about what his plans would be if he was appointed the next Archbishop of Canterbury. Hey, look. He's probably quite mad, but look, I mean, he's written an entire website about what he'd do if he's going to be an archbishop. He's written some new hymns in both English and German by the looks of things. And there's a picture of Hitler. Good.
He always gets there in the end.
Yeah,
he always gets there. I
don't think he's pro Hitler, but.
Oh, good.
Yeah. Oh, good. Never mind.
Yeah, I like, speaking of the old Archbishop of Canterbury thing, it puts me in the mind of the private eye cover when King Charles was coronated. Just big white plain cover saying "Man in hat sits on chair."
Nice, like that. Big fun.
Pete, let's have a break. When we come back, actually, before we went to the break, I wanted to finish off with an example about that Christian music thing, because one of my favourite albums of all time is "Heart of the Congos" by the Congos. Right? Which is amazing Lee Scratch Perry, like Black Ark reggae record from the late 70s. And it kind of hit me. It's like a roots reggae album, but it kind of hit me years and years after I was listening to it without really thinking much about it. Is that every single song is about God and Jesus.
Right, yeah.
But because it's like a reggae album in the 70s and the production's amazing, and like they're really cool, it doesn't put me off.
Yeah, no, that's fair. I think that's fair. Yeah, that's absolutely fine. But I think it's the... Yeah, but I mean, I guess back then all music in that part of the world would probably be deemed as, there's a lot of that. It was either love or Jesus, I guess, wasn't it? So
yeah, I think it's a part of it. Yeah,
that,
Or I'm smoking the reefer.
And smoking the reefer. I liked the pop stylings of DC Talk's song called "So Long, My Friend," which was on MTV quite a lot back in the day, and it was very good. But then you did go and look at a lot of their other stuff, and they've had to go at rap, they've had to go at new metal, they've had to go at like Weezer music, they've had to go at everything just to try and grab that bit of relevancy. But
have you read the story of the Black Ark Studio, Lee Perry's Black Ark Studio?
Is that the one where he would blow weed into the?
Oh, mate. It was like the most amazing recording studio in the world for a period in the 70s, and every other place was trying to kind of replicate it and stuff. And he was basically making. So they would be like, people would be trying to work out how he got a particular bass drum sound or whatever, and trying to replicate it. And then eventually it turned out like he was like burying microphones under trees and like stomping on them and stuff. And he was and he was using, like, the whole thing was like covered in chicken wire, which made it sound really weird. And he Lee Perry is also, I mean, Lee Perry, was, God rest him, quite mad.
Yes.
Right? I remember seeing him accept like a Lifetime Achievement Award at some awards, and he'd come up on stage, and in one hand he had a hammer, and the other hand he had a tap. Like a faucet tap, just waving them around. But he said, his quote, per the Black Ark studio, he described it and said, the studio must be like a living thing, a life itself. The machine is live and intelligent. Then I put my mind into the machine, and the machine performs my reality. Invisible thought waves. You put them into this machine, send them through the controls and the knobs, and you jack it into the jack panel. And the jack panel is the brain itself. So you patch up the brain and make the brain a living man, and the brain can take what you're sending into it and live.
Yeah.
What does that one do, mate? What does that button do?
It's makes it go louder. It's got echo. It's just a bit of reverb, mate. It's just a bit of reverb. Don't worry about it. Oh, wonderful. Right. Well, we'll be back in a second. We'll be turning off our recording studio very, very briefly to let some ads in. And then we'll be back with the Look a Beat Show Part 2. Thursday edition. It's usually Thursday edition, isn't it? Thursday. We're back with the Look at Pete Show. I'm Pete Donaldson, and I'm joined by Mr. Lukey Moore.
Gosh, it's a shame we couldn't record a podcast in the Black Ark studio. It'd be an absolute like dereliction of everything that is holy.
It would have to be. It would have to be like the way that those kind of big sort of reggae records seem to have is like everything's on a big fat reverb, everything's got massive echo on it, so the like nice jingly jangly guitars just kind of really sort of cut through, and lovely stuff.
Lee Perry burnt the whole thing down at the end of the 70s. Too many bad spirits, he said.
Too many bad spirits. Yep.
Yeah.
Or drugs. Probably drugs.
In 1979, following years of increasingly bizarre and erratic behaviour, Lee Scratch Perry, armed with a magic marker, covered every available surface of the Black Ark with the impenetrable writings before burning it to the ground. That's an artist. That's an artist.
Oh yeah, and yet if I do that I'm called a meth head. If I do that if I do that to an Austin Allegro in a car park, I'm called a meth head, honestly. There was a bloke, it really made me laugh, this fucking tweet talking about meth heads. He sort of said, someone on Twitter was talking about how he'd bought $250,000 worth of nickels. And he had them in wherever you, I mean, an astonishing amount. But he basically said, look, at best, I've got $250,000 of America-backed finance, like money, or at worst, or even better than that. Sorry, at worst, I've got that. At best, I've got. I'm betting that the metal market, it will become it will become more important in the future. And nickel is, something like 70% zinc and 70% whatever, 30% whatever. And these metals will become very, very valuable in the future. So I am betting on the metal market absolutely exploding in the future because we're going to need them. And somebody wrote, "Oh my God, this fucking website is like a fucking car park full of meth heads, just going stripping out copper from fucking, just obsessed with raw materials. There's raw materials everywhere, and I've got the time, and I've got the imposition to start stripping out and concentrating on stripping out metal and metal wiring and stuff like that because good God, I love meth. All right, let's do some batteries. There we go. We've got a message from Grant. Hello, Grant. I have 2 points to bring your attention. Over the last few pods, I've noticed that you're bringing up science and health a bit more. With that in mind, I would like to apply for the position of Chief Scientific Officer for the Luke and Pete Show. I'm a senior scientist up here in Glasgow, and I work on a contract resource organisation doing drug discovery research. If you're too worried about paying for such a lofty position, I would also point out that my wife listens too. She's also a scientist, better than me as well, so you'd get a two-for-one deal in this. We can offer insights into all the science of the day, as well as Pete's lumps and stuff that he's prescribed and acquired off the dark net.
Well, you're in luck because, Grant, Pete was literally saying before we started recording today that he just bought some, in his words, goop off the grey market on the internet for some ulcers in his mouth and just shoved it down his gob.
Shoved it down his gob. Panicked halfway through that I was getting skin, not lesions, skin. What do you call them? Blisters on my hands and feet. Shat my pants. Thought I was going to die as usual, and I am reliably calm about it. Probably just being my daughter's hand, foot, and mouth. So good stuff. Just good stuff all round.
I would also add that you are someone who is completely averse to the mainstream lifestyle. So you won't go to the doctor or Superdrug or whatever. And also, this kind of manifested itself the other day when you came into the office. There's a beer keg in our office for the guys, and you asked a few questions about how you thought the beer in that beer keg. It's like a draft thing, isn't it? Like a draft.
Yeah, it's like a one-man kind of the sort of thing you see in a COVID garden. Beer shed,
right.
So
you pour yourself a beer, draft beer, and you kind of inquire with a couple of people at work. Oh, how long's that beer been in there? Because I feel like it's been in there for months and months, and I reckon it might be off now. So I really want to drink it.
I really want to see what it's like. Yeah,
and Charlie was like, "Nah, mate, we replaced it like last week, so it's brand new." And you just like really disappointed, and then walked off and didn't bother drinking anything. So you only wanted to drink off beer.
I've had some hard iced tea sent to the office, so we can enjoy some in-date. You can either have in-date iced tea or some off lager, some off-check lager. Look, I think that Grant's pitch to be the chief scientific officer slash 2 for the price of 1.
I mean, it's an unpaid position, mate. Absolutely clear.
Unpaid. Yeah.
We are Mike Ashley here.
No, exactly. And to be honest, the way we'd pay you would be so erratic. It would be annoyance. It would be an annoyance to get yourself taxed on it. So
and it comes with a lot of responsibility.
Exactly. Yeah, you got to listen to me talk about my lumps, for example.
What's Grant's batteries, Peter?
Grant's battery is for the daddy of battery. Energy Very Endure Eve. Energy Very Endure Eve. I think Eve is the main kind of brand name, but Energy Very Endure seems to be the sort of subtitle.
They've popped that through like an English like translation.
Energy Very Endure. Yeah. Well, we need it to very endure, guys.
Yeah. Well, Grant, unfortunately, you are the third person to send that particular battery in. Our friends Stuart and Tom have sent them in before. We first saw them in November of 2021, but we've only seen them 3 times, so they are pretty rare. Yeah. But not a new player. But I mean, we'll ruminate on your and your wife's application for official scientist of the Luke and Pete Show, Chief Scientific Officer. Sorry, quite a lofty title there, Grant.
I think it's fine. Look, look, dress for the job you want. Give us the job title you want, and we'll judge it on its merits. Luke Neal's got in touch. Hello, Luke Neal. Hello, Luke and Pete. Hope life is treating you well. I recently holidayed in Morocco. If you had a download registered in Marrakesh between the 10th and 14th of October, that was me. Whilst there, I checked out the remotes for all air conditioners and the TV with no new players. Then I opened up the back of the hooky TV box to find a brace of Liliang Jin. Are these new players? I've taken a picture of the pool in Riyadh with Riyadh in the background as a feeble, humble brag. I saw many stray cats in Marrakesh, and as a cat lover like my namesake, I bought a load of cat food and spent time in the evenings feeding the local moggies. Luckily, no scratches, so hopefully free of rabies for now. Liliang Jin is the name of them. Feels like a new player to me.
Yeah, a couple of bits of admin before we get into the new player. No, I don't think cats carry rabies. I don't think that's possible. So
really?
No, I don't think so.
Surely
no.
They can't they? Any living animal can't.
Look it up. I think it's rats and bats and dogs, isn't it? Possibly rats. I don't think cats do. Look it up, Peter. While I tell you the next fact, which is in the last calendar month. I'm delighted to report, Luke, that we had 23 downloads in the beautiful country of Morocco. So
yes.
You contributed to them, but you weren't the only person. I mean, if you are listening from Morocco right now, and that's just not like a data, like a bug thing or something, get in touch. I'd love to hear who the other 20. Actually, no, because it'll be there's like 8 shows a week, right? So sorry, 8 shows a month. So it'd be 8. So there'd only be 3 people realistically in Morocco. Who are the other 2? We need to find out.
Good point. Good point.
And then finally, Lilian Jin, yeah,
Lilian Jin.
So they're not a new player, Luke, but you're very close to them being a new player because it's only the second time we've seen them. We saw them on April the 11th from the legendary Das Crapper, who you mention all the time. He submitted them on April the 11th. So you are the second person to send them in, but it's not a new player.
I hope this doesn't ruin the rest of your Moroccan holiday.
Yeah. What about cats and rabies? What's the verdict?
Any living animal can get rabies. Cats can get them. But
I just didn't think they could. Fair enough.
I think a lot of them. I think we don't. I guess because we don't have rabies in the UK, everyone's vaccinated for them. If the cat's vaccinated, you never
right?
Know
okay.
But I think it's
okay. Good to know. Well, listen, peace of mind anyway.
Good to know. Jamie, hi chaps. My 3rd submission to the Battery Daddies. Hoping that this one makes it to the top of the inbox. I'm a maths teacher. And during a recent Year 9 lesson on composite functions, which was about as enjoyable as you can imagine.
Oh, Year 9, man. That's 14 years old. I've got no idea what that is.
Yeah, 9 was. I think when you started doing matrices and stuff, I started losing hard interest in anything.
Yeah, same.
Anything maths.
You know that stuff about like, could you do a GCSE like in different subjects now? What subjects do you reckon you could do still?
I could do.
I could do English and history, I reckon.
Yeah, well, you'd need the prep, though, wouldn't you? You need a couple of weeks of just reading the set text.
If I know what the, I mean, does it work like you know kind of what the texts are going to be?
I think you usually get, certainly with history A level, you used to be able to get. It's GCSE, isn't it? Yeah, I mean, you'd get like a set, like this is probably what it's going to be about. Like little sort of questions, and then you could, because a lot of like certainly history was just fucking bullet pointing stuff, wasn't it?
What subjects do you reckon you could do then? I reckon English and history for me. Couldn't do maths, couldn't do languages. Probably couldn't do science. Maybe a bit of science.
Science would be too broad. History less fluffable. But yeah, I think your general studies, English and history. I think that would probably.
What is general studies? I never get anywhere near that at school.
I think I got it. I was terrible at it. I think it was just. It was just everything, wasn't it? It was just a bit of everything, bit of business, bit of.
It feels to me like some kind of education board has been told they have to cover certain other stuff, and they're not doing it. So they go, right, we're going to do a general studies.
Stick it in there.
Get it all in the bucket.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense. But yes, so Energy Very Endure was not a new player. Li Lang Jin was also not a new player, but closer. XZ Energy is Jamie's entry into the Battery Daddy. Is it a new player?
It's not, I'm afraid. Oh. So that's 0 from 3 this week. Yeah. That's the 5th time we've seen XZ or XZ Energy. James Cunningham, Sean Taylor, Jimmy, Alan Marples, and now Jamie Sykes is the 5th person to send them in. So afraid not.
Quite simply a real shame.
Every week is a new chance to win. So don't get disheartened.
Yeah. All right then. Well, that has been the Luke and Pete Show. We'll be back on Monday. So look after yourselves over the weekend and do get in touch. hello@lukeandpeteshow.com. We'll pile through some emails next time we see ya. Luke, say goodbye.
Goodbye.
And it's goodbye from me.